Good evening. I'm Ryan, alongside Joel.
Hi, everybody.
We are Michigan Storm Chasers. Welcome to the stream tonight, guys. We have quite a bit to go over with this midweek system. Let's go ahead and dive on into what we have going on. So, if you are living under a rock, we have a snowstorm moving in for our late Wednesday into early Thursday timeframe. Let's go ahead and start. So where is this system right now and why does it matter? So the system currently on this map here is sitting just off the coast of California. Why that matters is because when that energy is over the water, we cannot physically sample it just yet. When it moves onto land, we have a network, not us, but the National Weather Service has a network of balloons that they can send up, retrieve data, and that data gets put in the models, and then the models become a lot more accurate. But we can't do that yet because the system is still over water. That's going to move on water or over onto land here later on this evening, and data will become very, very much more accurate for tomorrow or overnight tonight. So there is our point number one. Just want to point that out, and that's going to be the cause of some minor shifting that may occur between now and tomorrow. Let's go ahead and dive in to everything else here, starting with how it's going to evolve. This is the European model here. We're going to watch the system move on shore here. We're going to keep it rolling here. A system will pass off to our south tomorrow, which is Tuesday. No impacts here tomorrow, except for the UP because some lake effect snow there and places and other places as well. We'll talk about that in a second. But as we move into Tuesday night, into Wednesday, here comes that system that develops over the Central Plains here, Oklahoma, Colorado area. That's the area to watch as this pushes up our direction. Moving it into Wednesday morning here, it continues to track our way. And by the time we get into Wednesday afternoon, evening, the state is now encompassed in snow. Let's go ahead and zoom in here to an Ohio Valley look, a little bit more zoomed in for you guys. Let's go ahead and go through the time frame. There's a system tomorrow, passes off to our south. Here comes our system for Wednesday. We're going to pause it right about here. Start time could be as early as 3 or 4 p.m. We're thinking a little bit later, 5, 6 o'clock or so, for an arrival time for the first snowflakes. That will continue throughout the evening into the overnight hours. The heaviest of snow looks to be centered between, we're going to say roughly 7 p.m. Wednesday and roughly 7 a.m. Thursday morning. So about a 12-hour period of some heavy snow that will continue to move across the state into Canada. And by the time we get to around noon on Thursday, that system will be off into Canada, and just some regular snow showers, light snow showers, are left over. Backing this up here, keep a close eye on how the system looks. This is the European model here. We're going to take a look at the GFS, or also known as the American model, and also the Canadian model. So here's the European. Let's go ahead and switch over here to the GFS now. Let's go ahead and run this through into Wednesday evening. Here comes the system. Again, start time, a similar agreement to the European, 4, 5, 6 p.m. start. And again, this keeps the mixed precip just off to our south and east into Ohio. So comparing, here's the GFS, there's the European. You see how that mixed precip is kind of up into Michigan on the European? GFS doesn't have that, okay? Let's go ahead and go to the Canadian model. Same exact story here. The system will move up into the state into the later part of the afternoon Wednesday. And the Canadian model keeps the mixed precip in southeast Michigan. Places like Detroit, Monroe, Adrian, Ann Arbor, you guys could be in for some freezing rain and sleet with this system. So that is a general consensus. So time frame again, late Wednesday afternoon, early evening through Thursday morning. That's your main time frame. Most of the snow will fall overnight. Wednesday evening commute should be okay. Thursday morning will be most likely the most impactful time frame to watch for this system. Now let's go ahead and move into our next slide here, which is going to show you the zoomed in snow totals from the European model. I'm going to highlight this very carefully and show you guys why. So this is the European model. Like I just said, this is your snowfall totals via the model, not a forecast, just what the model is thinking. Running this into Wednesday morning, nothing happens. And here comes that system off to the west. It starts snowing here roughly around that 4, 5, 6 p.m. time frame, Wednesday evening. And then by the time we get into the overnight hours, snow really picks up. Inch per hour rates are possible across some of the area. So keep that in mind as well. Snow can be heavy at times, but it blankets pretty much the entire lower peninsula in a decent 4, 5, 6, 7 inches of snow. Locally, higher amounts are possible here. That is the general going forecast here. 4 to 7 is what we're going with. I'll get to the forecast here in just a second. But I do want to highlight one thing we're watching in particular, and that is shifting, okay? We're going to zoom way in here. It's going to look a little bit different. This is a zoomed in look on the Detroit metro area from an earlier model that came out, okay? It looks a little bit different. Pay no attention to the numbers. I want you to pay attention to the colors. This is this morning's model, okay? Watch what happens when I click on this afternoon model. So here's this morning, and then here's the afternoon. You see how much that shifted? That is called a minor shift. It's pretty major when you talk about it, about a whole county and a half worth of shifting there between models here, but that is a minor shift in meteorological terms. And that is going to be something we're going to watch very carefully into the next couple of model runs. Shifting like that is still a possibility. So this morning's run, for example, here in Monroe, it gave Monroe a 1.4 inch total. But the afternoon run, for example, gives Monroe a 3.2 inch total. It also shifted the heaviest banding further south and east. So that is because the low pressure itself is shown to be weaker on the afternoon model versus this morning's model. And when we compare the ensemble model agreement here, I'll go ahead and show you guys this. Zoom in, give me 1 second here. I wasn't ready to show you guys this slide, but I just want to highlight the spread on the models so far. So here is every single different type of model we can run and its placement of the system. So if we stop it right here and zoom really far in, every L you see is the center of this system, and it's pretty well grouped into central Ohio here, tracking up between Toledo and Cleveland. But still, there's an east and a west shift that still could happen within a margin of error. It's pretty minor, but it could be pretty major in terms of who sees snow, who sees ice, et cetera, et cetera. So putting it all together, going over our forecast here. What are we thinking? You guys probably already seen our map. If you haven't, well, you're about to see it here in a second. Go and find it here, pull it up. There we go. 4 to 7 inches is what we're going for conservatively. There is potential to go higher with this. I think, honestly, at this point, we are probably going to go higher tomorrow if confidence continues to increase. There's likely going to be a higher banding, so to speak, of snow, which you currently think they're in the pink zones from roughly Kalamazoo up through the Thumb, Port Austin area. Likely going to have to upgrade that to a higher total, but areas further around that area, 4 to 7 inches down toward Ann Arbor, up toward West Branch, Alpena, Mount Pleasant, Grand Rapids, Niles, pretty much a good thumping of snow across central Michigan here. Further southeast in the 2 to 5 zone, Monroe, Adrian, Ann Arbor, Detroit, Port Huron, you guys are going to mix at this current time, thinking you guys are going to mix in with some freezing rain as well as sleet. That will cut in on your totals, but any further shifting may shift those totals upwards or downwards. We're going to have to keep an eye on that and really start honing in on that tomorrow morning especially, but we'll get things locked down, especially tomorrow's forecast. But this is just a general idea, 2 to 5 inches for you guys down there. Going further north as well, Cadillac, Ludington, Traverse City, Sheboygan, Mackinac, Gaylord areas. You guys also in a 2 to 5 zone. And again, shifting is still possible. We could definitely shift that 4 to 7 up further north or further south, so keep that in mind as well. UP, you guys at this point in time have had lake effect snow all year, and it's time for you guys to get a break. So this is not lake effect system. This is what we call a synoptic snow system. So this is going to be as impactful for the UP this time around. But number 3 is the going forecast on the east side and a trace to an inch over on the west side of the UP there in white. As far as ice totals go, there is still potential for some icing, especially in the southeast part of Michigan. We're going conservative with our first call forecast here, up to 1/10 of an inch of ice. And for ice storm criteria, we want to have about 1/4 inch or 0.25. We're not currently seeing those. We may have to up it just a tad bit if confidence continues to increase, but I don't think this is going to be an ice storm by any means for our friends here in southeast Michigan. So keep an eye on that, update you guys as needed. But overall thinking, just a nice glaze of ice across southeast Michigan. No major power or tree impacts, just impacts to travel. Timing forecast, 6 to 10 p.m. is what we're going with for the earliest start time of our snow. Again, that could shift minorly. Could go to 5 o'clock, could go to 4 o'clock even, or it could go to 7 or 8 o'clock. Keep that in mind. General speaking, though, 6 to 10. It should start around that time frame in southwest Michigan. Going up into the central part of the state for the majority of us, 8 p.m. to 12 a.m. Wednesday evening. And then further to the east and north, 11 p.m. or later for places like Alpena, Port Austin, Ottawa, and Sault Ste. Marie. Last but not least, we have the good old panicometer. We made this a couple days ago, and we are moving it up to the bread and milk watch. We are currently putting that out just as precaution. It's time to start your preparations with these winter storms. Get stocked up on some food. Typical Michigan winter storm here. Nothing too extravagant with this. It's not going to be a blizzard by any means. It's not going to be huge, but still, it's our first bigger type of event here this winter, and we want you guys to be ready for it. So, Bread and Milk Watch is out, and by tomorrow morning, we should have the warning in effect if confidence increases. So that is our forecast package. I'll go ahead and turn it over here to the comment section.
I also have the tomorrow's lake effect to kind of go over here real quick. Again, this has sailed under the radar a little bit due to the system that's coming on Wednesday and Thursday, but models have come into agreement, especially with our short range models here, that we could see a little bit of light lake effect snow tomorrow. So don't be surprised if you do see some light lake effect if you live anywhere in West Michigan or places further north up there near Gaylord and Traverse City. And then obviously you also have your normal lake effect snow ongoing, where there's winter weather advisories ongoing already there in Houghton and places up there in Luce, Alger, and Chippewa counties near Grand Marais and Sault Ste. Marie. And again, those totals up there will be about 3 to 7 inches.
And thank you for that reminder there of the alerts, Joel. We have winter storm watches in effect. I'm going to try to blanket answer these because I have a lot of questions on our page in our inbox. Why isn't such and such a county in a warning or a watch? That is because we currently have, or not we, but the NWS who issues these watches currently has more confidence in the watch area than we do further south and east. So places like Monroe, Lenawee, Hillsdale, Washtenaw, Jackson, Wayne, Calhoun, Branch, St. Joseph, you guys are still going to get snow. It's just probably not going to be as much snow as those places further north. And again, shifting is still possible. Any shifts back to the southeast could add some more counties into this watch area. So if you guys are sitting there thinking, no watches issue, we're not going to get anything. No, it's just not going to be as impactful for places further north. The confidence right now is highest in the places that do have those watches. So do expect additional watches to be issued in the coming days, as well as advisories when we get closer to the event. Watches typically come out 48 hours or so prior to an event, and then advisories come out roughly around 12 to 24 hours prior to an event. So by the time we get to tomorrow evening, we'll likely have advisories in place for places that don't have the winter storm watches. Okay. Hope that makes some sense for you guys.
Now we can go over chat.
All right.
But first, we do have a couple super chats in here. Red Dozier, as always, one of our longtime donors here. Thank you for the $20 super chat. Saying thanks, guys. No problem. And we also have over here on YouTube a couple of gifted memberships from Evan and Red Dozier. That's 20 total. So if you are a subscriber here on our YouTube channel, again, it's free to do. Check your accounts. You may have just been gifted a 30-day membership courtesy of Evan and Red. So thank you, guys.
I do have a question in chat here asking about Saturday. We're not going to touch on Saturday too much in detail. We do have an initial graphic made. Now, again, I want to first pop up this and kind of educate you guys first. On a forecasting timeline, we are still kind of in that 6 to 7 day period of time, kind of in that 4 to 6 day period, actually. We're just kind of watching trends at this point. North shifts, south shifts, stuff like that. We're not to the point we can finalize details, but current thinking on a weekend system does bring more snow and perhaps some mixing of freezing rain and sleet into the picture once again for the state. Currently thinking central part of the state, similar to this system, although this is going to be more so west to east oriented, whereas the system tomorrow, or should I say Wednesday, is going to be more so southeast to northwest oriented, or sorry, southwest to northeast oriented. I'm getting confused here. But overall, this is our current thinking for the weekend system. No thoughts on amounts just yet. Stay tuned for that forecast. Let's just focus on the midweek system first before we actually start worrying about the weekend system. But yes, overall, there is a potential for another system on the weekend. What time is going to move in on Wednesday? Southwest Oakland County. So popping up the timing graphic once more here. You are in the 8 p.m. to 12 a.m. time frame, so expect it between that time frame to begin. So it's not going to be the entire storm. It's not all going to happen between 8 p.m. and 12 a.m. This is just the projected start time of your first snowflakes.
Mm-hmm. I had that question earlier today on Facebook, and they were wondering if that was like just a 4-hour storm and all that dumped in 4 hours. That would be crazy if it was. But no, that is just your start time. Again, impacts will be felt throughout the day on Thursday, and then it'll taper off into Thursday afternoon.
Debbie in here with a good question. Are winds going to be an issue? The answer is yes and no. No, we're not expecting power outages or blizzard-like conditions. But yes, winds could gust 20, 25, perhaps 30 miles per hour in spots. This snow is going to be on the lighter type, lighter and fluffier. So it's going to be more prone to blowing. So even lighter winds like 20 or 25 miles per hour could still blow some snow around, cause some drifting, some lower visibility conditions. So yes, in a way, it could be impactful mainly to travel. But overall speaking, no, not really impactful for power outages or blizzard-like conditions, not like that.
I can answer the question about the temperatures. Temperatures throughout the week are going to be in the 20s. And then we're also watching the start of next week. So it's a little far out right now, but it looks like the pattern is changing a little bit. We're going to have a lot more Arctic air moving in, and that means overnight temperatures will be dropping down again into the single digits here soon, perhaps into the negative digits. But again, that'll be mainly as we start next week, and that is currently a little too far out right now to get into specifics for that.
Got a question in chat. Can you explain each level of the panic meter? So this is something we came up with a couple days ago here. So the first level there in green, social media hype, that's when you start seeing a lot of talk on social media. Hey, there's a system going to happen 15 days out. It's going to be a gigantic blizzard. That's that level. When we get to the level 2, worth mentioning, hey, it could happen. We're not entirely sure yet, but it's trending in a direction where we could be impactful to us here in Michigan. The level 3 bread and milk watch just kind of puts you guys on a little bit more so alert. Hey, watch out. We may need to, get ready for winter storm. And then we get to the warning level 4. That's when, hey, start your preparations now. Go get your bread and milk. Hunker down for the next, 24 hours. And then level 5 is obviously, hey, we're getting, 6 inches of snow. It's happening. So that's the kind of the explanation and walkthrough between the levels there. If that makes any sense to you guys. The snow in the central part of the state, go bring this map up here again. It'll be pretty heavy snow. Snowfall rates could touch 1 inch per hour at times in some spots. So that's decently pretty heavy. But again, if you live further southeast currently or further north into 1 to 3 and trace to 1, it won't be as heavy, obviously. But in that heavier swath of 4 to 7 plus, we're going to definitely see some heavier snowfall rates. This will be a lighter, fluffier snow. It won't be heavy in nature, speaking to the weight of it. So it's going to be kind of a fun shoveling snow to put in perspective. Any concerns with dry slots this system, Scott asks. And the answer is no, not really with this system. This system looks pretty moist throughout. And there's really we got dry slotted last time because we had kind of 2 systems coming together, one from the north, one from the south. They kind of crossed and missed Michigan. That's not going to happen this time around. This is one bigger system, and it will have a lot of moisture to work with. So no, not expecting dry slot issues with this system.
Julie's in here saying she wants thunder snow. Again, we're not really expecting anything in terms of convection for this system. Again, the low pressure center there is about 100 millibars. So it's a decent size low, but there's not going to be too much warm air advection in unstable atmosphere, or unstable, I guess I could say CAPE, the storm fuel that's going to be advecting into the region. So unfortunately, no thunder sleet this time for you guys that are wanting a rare phenomenon, I guess you could say. But things can change. You never know.
Do you think schools will be closing on Thursday? I'd say a good possibility across much of the state. Schools are going to close. I would expect them to make those decisions. But again, if we could see, for example, a significant jog northwest, that may bring a little bit more in the way of light accumulations to southeast Michigan. But still, you have to worry about ice at that point. So I would expect there to be some pretty good closings come Thursday across the state. How much snow for Montcalm County? I'm going to pop the map up here for you guys if you guys are just joining us. All eyes on the midweek system here, Wednesday p.m. into early Thursday a.m. Montcalm County there, 4 to 7 inches is the going forecast from us. We could adjust that higher or perhaps lower because you are close to that 2 to 5 line there. We could see a southeast shift. it may shift some of the higher totals or lower totals into the region. So stay tuned. We'll have another updated forecast coming out tomorrow afternoon for you guys, about the same time, 4 o'clock. We'll go live again also tomorrow evening as well. So we got you guys covered here. This is our first call map. Just keep that in mind as well. We'll do a second forecast update tomorrow, then another one on Wednesday if anything needs updating as well. When will the system get onto land and we can start sampling? Joey asks. So going back to that first map here, we're kind of watching it over here on the coast of Canada. I'll move on to land here roughly in the next couple hours. So by the time we get to tomorrow morning, we should have a much better idea of what to expect with the system.
We have a new member in here, Justin. Thank you for becoming a channel member here at MSC on YouTube. Appreciate your support. Welcome to the team. And we have a question here, $9.99 super chat from Kendall. Living in northern Oakland County in the Oxford area, am I expecting freezing rain or snow? The answer to that right now is a little bit of both, I would have to say. Again, with that southern shift today, that reduces the possibilities of seeing freezing rain in your area. But again, it's going to be really close to 32 on Wednesday into Thursday. So there will probably still at least be a little bit of a glaze right now. And again, we'll update as necessary with the second call and the last call graphics. Ryan, you want to add anything to that?
No, you covered it pretty well. A mix of both is expected. But again, you're pretty close to these cutoff lines. So any shifts will dictate what kind of precip will be dominant for you. But I would expect kind of both to mix in there.
Yeah. And it'll be kind of deceiving out there on the roads because you'll have the ice underneath the snowpack. So you definitely want to be taking it cautiously out there if you are driving overnight and into the Thursday morning hours, if you have to, of course.
When will traffic maps be out? Summer asks. So we'll probably put those out Wednesday morning, I have to assume, or very late Tuesday, tomorrow evening.
Yeah, I'm thinking for that because it's going to be like an overnight thing. We might do the traffic, might pull out the traffic arrows for that one.
Yeah, I was thinking the exact same thing. We'll get all the information out there to you guys this time around. Are we having any chasers out? Yes, we have a lot of chasers going out for this. So we may go live across the state come Thursday morning. Perhaps late Wednesday night even. So, but yes, the overall answer is yes. We have multiple chasers going out. What is the winter storm warning criteria for ice or sleet? So depends. Typically for a glaze of ice, they'll pull out the advisory, usually winter weather advisory for the glaze. Sometimes they'll put winter storm watches for like ice storm events, which is a 1/4 inch or higher. But anything below that typically is an advisory level. As far as sleet, I don't know the answer to that. I don't know if they have actual set criteria for sleet accumulations with the winter storm warnings.
It all boils down to how much can fall in a short amount of time as well.
Martin asked, what are the totals looking for Macomb County? So Macomb County, again, kind of close to that cutoff line currently, where it could go either way. So right now we have most of the Macomb County there in 2 to 5 inches. But if that shifts further southeast, you'd be in a more so 4 to 7 zone, for example. Whereas if you shift more so northwest, you may be in a little bit more of an ice solution with perhaps less snow. So overall, we're going 2 to 5 right now. With a glaze of ice would be the expectation for you there in Macomb County. That also goes for Wayne, Monroe, Lenawee, and also St. Clair County. On the map on your screen there, the blue up top is all snow. The pink and orange is a sleet, and sleet is orange to be exact. Freezing rain would be pink, and then the green is just plain rain. Do you think the winter storm watch will be upgraded to a warning? Yes, Colton, I do for a large portion of the state. If you pull out the warning and watch map here real quick, it's going to really depend on the final track of this system. If any further shifts occur, we could see some of these counties on the edges become advisories instead of warnings. But we'll have to keep an eye on that. But yes, I would expect multiple counties within this watch to be upgraded to warnings by the time we get to Wednesday morning, likely tomorrow evening at the very earliest. Freddie says, I'm ready for some snow chasing. We are too, Freddie. Absolutely. So, Nicholas, good question here. I actually showed a graphic at the very end of our walkthrough here. I'll go ahead and pull it up again if I can find it. Let me go ahead and get it pulled back up here. Give me a second. I'd like to highlight this. This is the latest European model on your screen. Keep an eye on the very far southeast side of the precip shield. So I'm talking this zone right here. Okay. I'm going to back this model up to the morning model. Watch how far this moves north and west. It seems pretty small in nature, but it's a difference of about a county worth of snow totals. So this could continue to shift. And as it does so, counties can shift in and out of higher or lower totals. So yeah, shifting is still a possibility. We just saw one before we hopped on here, really. The model came out about 6 o'clock or so. So this is going to keep on happening into tomorrow. So we'll see. Evan back again with gifting 10 memberships. Thank you, Evan, for your support. And for those who just got gifted, welcome to the team.
Thank you, Evan.
Kendall with a $10 super chat. Could the ice totals go higher with later models to a 1/4 inch or higher? Unlikely at this point, Kendall. I do think there is potential for perhaps 2/10 of an inch of ice, but exceeding the ice storm criteria, I wouldn't really expect that at all. If it does happen, it'll probably be off to our south in Ohio or Indiana. I don't really expect it to happen overall, though, in general speaking. We should see less than 2/10. Start time for this is going to be as early as approximately 6 p.m. tomorrow. I keep saying tomorrow, 6 p.m. Wednesday. And again, here's your timing map: 6 to 10 p.m. in white areas there, yellow areas, 8 p.m. to 12 a.m., or 11 p.m. and later for the green areas. This is your start time. This is not going to be the duration, so it's not all going to fall between 6 and 10 p.m., for example. It's just going to be the earliest start time, so it could start between those two time frames.
Again, a little bit of a reminder that we do have also a little bit of lake effect snow falling tomorrow. I know I was going to interrupt you there, Ryan, but here's the map for tomorrow. Again, mainly most people will see probably an inch or less in that white zone, but we do have a slight area of 1 to 3 inches possible from Wolverine, Gaylord, Vanderbilt area down to the Oceana County area. And a lot of models are picking up on like a really tiny bullseye in Oceana County specifically. So we put that there just in case they do get 4 inches. But right now, the going rate for most of the Lower Peninsula is going to be under that 1 inch mark. And then obviously you have the normal lake effect snow falling tomorrow up there in the Upper Peninsula. But again, this is not your Wednesday and Thursday map. This is just tomorrow.
I see some comments in here asking if it's going to be a lighter or heavier snow. So in terms of the weight, it's going to be lighter in nature. That is thanks to our temperatures being a little bit cooler. Cooler temperatures typically means a lighter, fluffier snow. The closer we get to 32 degrees, though, it becomes a little bit heavier in nature. But overall speaking, this system should bring a bit more so in the lighter way of snow, some fluffier types. How do you know if you're gifted a membership? It should pop in your email. I see you're on Facebook there, Pat. So gifted memberships are a YouTube thing only, unfortunately. Facebook does not give us the option to gift memberships. So unfortunately, it's a YouTube only thing. If you are subscribed on YouTube, it will send you an email. Kendall with a $10 super chat. I live in Oxford and I'm under a winter storm watch. I'm expecting possibly more snow in my area than freezing rain. Again, Kendall, it's going to come down to these last minute shifts. So it could go either way for you. I would definitely expect it. I'll bring our map up, for example, here and just kind of show you. So there, when you see Detroit there, go a little bit further up above that. That's where you guys are. There in the Oxford area. You're kind of right in the middle of a 4 to 7 inch zone and a 2 to 5 inch zone. So if you think of a minor shift, either direction, north, south, east, or west, it's going to dictate heavily what you're going to end up with. So yes, I can see it going either way, where you could see, 4, 7, sometimes maybe 8 inches in spots, or I could see it kind of being more so of a 2 to 5 inch event with some ice underneath. So I could see it going either way. We should have a much better idea come tomorrow afternoon and evening on the exact track of this. It's been shifting a little bit. So we're going to watch tonight's models, the morning models, and get another forecast posted tomorrow if there's any changes. Will there be any lake enhanced snow in Kalamazoo? Any ice accumulation? How much snows? So thank you for that $5 super chat. So in terms of Kalamazoo, currently thinking is all snow. I would not expect there to be any ice at all. And in terms of lake effect snow, I'm not really expecting anything at all for you. So just going to be a plain good old system that works through with no lake effect accumulations and no ice currently expected. Welcome to the channel, East. Appreciate your support.
Thank you, everyone.
When will you talk about more snow for Saturday? Let's get through the midweek system first. We may post an infographic on it tomorrow just because we've been getting asked about it a lot. But I think it's still too far out to really start pinpointing exacts. So let's wait on that. Let's wait at least until Wednesday to talk about it. Thunder snow chances quite low with this system. There's not much in the way of upper level instability to work with. So it should be pretty much an all snow event with some sleet and freezing rain mixed in. I don't really see much in the way of any thunder potential with this. Any power outages in Detroit? Not really expecting power outages in general. I think the winds are going to remain quite light. The snow is also quite light as well. Typical isolated outages where you may have like a car slide into a telephone pole, stuff like that is possible in winter storms, but widespread to scattered power outages, we're not expecting those at all. So I wouldn't expect there to be much in the way of any concern for those.
Mentioned colder temperatures for this system. How can we have freezing rain? Again, it has to do with the closeness of those isobars there around the low pressure system. Again, a lot of that warm air, again, everything moves counterclockwise in a low. So you have a lot of that warm air that gets pulled up from the Gulf, and it swoops around kind of with the warm front. And then it kind of seeps in just on the backside a little bit, right in the area of the low pressure system, kind of like that with the arrows there. And all that warm air creates kind of like a warm nose in the atmosphere above our heads a little bit, but then back down towards the ground, there's still a little bit of cold air. So that's how we get that freezing rain. And that's definitely a possibility for our system here on Wednesday into Thursday.
How does the WSSI look for Wednesday? Aaron, it's a good question. We don't use the WSSI for winter storms. It's been pretty off this winter in terms of its impact level. So we just kind of toss it out and don't really look at that too much. You've had plenty of times where it showed no impacts and we had major impacts across the state. So we're just not going to use that. So warnings will go in effect. Winter storm warnings will go in effect about 24 hours or so away from these events. Advisories about 12 to 24 hours away. And then as far as watches are concerned, those typically get issued about 48 hours from an event. So by the time we get to tomorrow evening, if not with the afternoon package that NWS releases, I would expect there to be at least watches or advisories in place by the time we get to 8 o'clock tomorrow evening. Emily with a super chat says, "Thank you for accurate reporting, lent away all year." You got it, Emily. It's what we're here for. Nicole asked, Calhoun, Jackson County. So you guys are going to be in the all snow zone currently. 4 to 7 inches is the current forecast. Higher totals are possible during our last forecast. Perhaps a second forecast tomorrow. We're unsure right now if we're going to issue a second and a last call, or we're just going to issue a last call sometime tomorrow or Wednesday. But we could adjust those totals upwards is the general thing I'm trying to communicate here in that pink zone, which does include the Calhoun County area. So 4 to 7, though, is your expectation at the current moment, and no ice or mix is expected. What are the chances that Detroit gets in on the winter storm watch? At this point, based on current data, I would say low. If we see additional shifting south and east to bring more snow further south and east, possible. But right now, it's quite unlikely as there's going to be a lot of mixing going on. But advisories are going to be pretty much a guarantee for a lot of the state. Because of ice and snow impacts. It's just going to be, again, winter storm watches. They have criteria as well as warnings they have to kind of follow. I think it's like 6 or more inches in like a 12-hour period or something like that. They have to follow criteria to issue watches versus advisories. And a lot of the counties just don't really meet the confidence to issue watches. So that's why you have a gap in those current watches out there. So just because you're not in a watch does not mean you're not going to get snow. It just means you're probably going to get less snow overall, is what that's probably trying to communicate to you guys.
Usually they reserve watches for the possibility to upgrade to a warning. Usually when there is a watch, it's going to be either one or the other. There's usually never like a downgrade to nothing at all. So if you guys are currently in a winter storm watch, there is pretty much a 99% chance you'll get either a winter weather advisory or a winter storm warning. The areas that are not in that watch, again, probably are going to be on the low end of things, but they'll still probably issue a winter weather advisory. I would have to imagine that pretty much the entire Lower Peninsula will see some sort of winter weather product come Wednesday morning.
Yeah, and Drew has a good point here in chat for those people asking about snow and locations. If you are not in a current winter storm watch, or if you're just watching from, generally speaking, the Lower Peninsula, even the Upper Peninsula as well, especially the east half, you guys are going to get snow from the system. It's just not going to be as much as some other places in Michigan, but you will see snow and we'll see impacts. Is the storm trending north or south, and how close is that line to Sterling Heights? Love the Michigan-based Weather Channel, by the way, guys. Thank you, Nicholas, for that $5 super chat. Let's go ahead and dive right on in here to your question. Let's go ahead and zoom in really close here to the Detroit area, or not Detroit. Let's go ahead and go to Michigan at this point. Let's go. Give me a second. I'll figure it out. There we go. So if we take this full screen here for your general location, this is the current thinking in terms of the rain, or not rain, but the freezing rain and snow line. And that lines up pretty close to Sterling Heights there. You're pretty close proximity to this. So overall speaking, it could go either way. Another shift to the southeast could bring more snow, or another jog northwest could bring you more in the way of mixing. Right now, the current trend on the latest model was a slight southeast shift. That would mean more snow for you, but we definitely could see that adjust further in future model runs. Models come out every 6 hours. So next models will come out here roughly around 12 to 1 a.m. tonight. So we're not going to have any updates past what we have currently speaking. Time frame for the system to begin is Wednesday around 6 p.m. in Southwest Michigan. 8 p.m. to 12 a.m. in central Michigan, they're in yellow. Then up there in Alpena, green areas, Port Austin, Sault Ste. Marie, 11 p.m. or later. That is your start time for the earliest snowflakes. We will have a full impact arrows. For those of you not familiar, we'll have like timing and all that tomorrow at the very earliest, perhaps Wednesday at the latest, if there's still some uncertainty. But we'll get very specific with timeframes of the heaviest snow in the future coming days here. So do stay tuned for that. Any news on the system for Saturday? We're not going to talk too much about it. We are getting asked this a lot. We might have to put a post out, Joel. This has been a very common question today. I really don't want to post about it just yet because our focus is wants to be on the midweek system before we start focusing on the long term. But yes, there's potential for a winter system come Saturday. Our current thoughts on it are this here on your screen. Heavier snow somewhere in the central part of the state, lighter snow further north, perhaps a mix further south. This is going to shift. This is not a forecast. This is just generally speaking what we're seeing now being 5 days away. Expect changes with this. But yes, another system is possible for the weekend and specifically on Saturday.
Kind of in a pattern right now, Ryan. Got Wednesday storm, Saturday storm, Wednesday storm, Saturday storm.
And you want to be a little bit more adventurous here. Let's go to the European, zoom out here and take a look at systems moving across the area here. So this is the system for the midweek time frame. We go a little bit further into the future here. Here comes that system for the weekend that may impact us. And then continuing in the future, more snow with a secondary system out to the south that moves through. And that stops there because this is the 18Z. It's not going to go out as far. But going into the future here, perhaps another system passes off to our south there. Another system after that. Another system after that. Another one after that. Another one. Like it just doesn't stop. It just doesn't stop. So we're in an active pattern. That's to say the least. But just a reminder, not every system is going to hit Michigan. We're going to get missed by some of these. So just because the pattern is active, it doesn't mean we're going to get 1 billion inches of snow. So keep that in mind too.
Got a $4.99 super chat here from Wavy. Thank you, Wavy. What are you guys thinking for temps? Also, thank you for all you guys do. You guys are my #1 Michigan weather go-to. Thank you, Wavy, for those very nice words. We got you here, Ryan. You want to pull up that model there for the temperatures on Wednesday?
Yep, I'm already working on it. So overnight on Wednesday, when the snow begins, the temperatures across the state, low to mid 20s is the expectation. Further south and further to the east there in Detroit area, we're going to notice they're a little bit higher, 29 to 30 degrees there. That is why we could see some mixing of that freezing rain there. Above our heads, it's a little bit warmer than it is on the surface. So generally speaking, we're going to be mid-20s across much of the state, low to mid-20s. And that's why the snow is going to be lighter and fluffier too. If we're closer to that 30, 32 degree mark, it becomes a little bit heavier in nature. So speaking, 20, 25 degrees is the expectation for the temperatures.
You want to throw up the snowfall rates to kind of like mimic that? So it'd be like the 1 hour difference there. Snowfall 1 hour difference kind of gives you an idea of how the snowfall rates increase the closer you are to 30 degrees.
Yep. And these are also what we can expect per hour. We're getting close to that inch per hour rates here as well. So keep that in mind overnight, especially. We're getting some areas close to an inch per hour rates. And generally speaking, a half inch to an inch per hour is a general going rate, but it'll be pretty heavy snow overnight. In which city will there be the most impacts here in Michigan? So this is a good question there, but generally speaking, it's a more widespread event this time around. It's not going to be a lake effect, system. It's not going to be localized. It's generally a good thumping of snow across a large population of Michigan. I will say that highest impacts will likely be in the heavier snow swath, which is currently expected to be somewhere in that pink outlined area from Kalamazoo to Lansing up toward Flint, Tri-City, Port Austin areas. That could shift. But generally speaking, the highest impacts will likely be felt where the totals of snow are also the highest. But just because we're getting higher snow totals doesn't mean it's going to be any more impactful than any place else, because snow and ice, regardless of amount, is still slick to travel on. And that's going to be the main concern with this system. East with the $5 super chat. Is Northern Genesee County seeming likely to be all snow with current modeling thinking? So thank you for that $5 super chat. Sorry, I missed that. So currently, yes, Genesee County is all snow. I'm hold the map, not that one, wrong one, Ryan. This Genesee County is firmly at this point in an all snow solution. So I would say yes. Your general idea for right now thinking is all snow. Mixing should stay off to your south and to your east. And apologies for missing that. Chat's going a mile a minute here, so apologies. I heard a warm-up is coming at the end of February. Matthew, that is a great question. Not really related to the system, but we are seeing signs of a average to perhaps slightly above average end to February, start to March. We'll keep a close eye on that. We'd also do daily update videos here on Michigan Storm Chasers YouTube. They're not live streams like this one, but they are daily videos that do talk about the long-term pattern and generally we're kind of looking at. So do come back and keep an eye on our forecast videos. We will be talking about February and March as well very soon here. Let's get past these two systems at very least before we start talking about long-term though.
Yeah, we noticed, what was it, Sunday night when we did that video, Ryan, on Facebook? Wasn't it Sunday? Or sorry, Saturday. It was one of the weekend days.
For what?
When we did the green screen video.
Yeah.
We noticed you guys really like that, and we do have, again, we have video content getting posted every day, but again, it's on YouTube, and every once in a while, every couple of days, I'll post something on TikTok as well, which is one of our lesser followed platforms. But again, if you guys have TikTok, I'm over there creating little short films for you guys, kind of with the same sort of information. So if you guys prefer video format, YouTube or TikTok is the place to be.
Absolutely.
We need more meteorologist style forecasts. Sounds good.
We'll have a new format as well for our videos coming up soon. We're still working on our new streaming software, which most of you guys probably know about already. We're getting close to it. We should be in our final editing touches before we start using it, but we'll be doing a little bit more unique style videos here coming soon. All right, any other questions, guys? Been on here for about 50 minutes or so. How long will this Wednesday, Thursday snow be on the ground after the storm? So the good question there, very good question, Michael. The answer is for a while. Temperatures are not going to go above freezing for probably 5 to 10 days afterwards. In fact, if we look at the long-term forecast from, let's go ahead, from the European here, go back to 12Z. Here's your 15-day temperature graph here. It might be hard to see. Let's go ahead and zoom that in for you guys. I'll go ahead and zoom in. This is your next 15 days. So starting today, 28, if you just go out into the future here, there is not a day above freezing in the next 15 days. So the answer to your question is the snow that's going to fall is going to be on the ground for quite some time. This is based out of Lansing as well. So this is further south in the state. Usually further south is a little bit warmer in nature. So generally speaking, we're seeing a very winter-like pattern here with snow still lost train of thought. Snow will be on the ground for a while. I'll leave it at that.
Got a natural refrigerator out there, I guess you could say.
That's a good way to put it.
Mm-hmm. Ryan, you're going to have to speak about this upcoming system. Toby here with a $9.99 super chat. Can you speak to the system coming in this weekend? I'm scheduled to fly out to Detroit early Saturday morning. Thanks for everything you guys do. Keep up the awesome work. And thank you, Toby, for the super chat and those very nice words. Ryan, if you want to just briefly kind of go over it again, that would be appreciated.
We're going to put a post out like maybe tonight even. But no, we are tracking that system. Our focus right now is on midweek, so we don't want to put too much attention on stuff that's a week away or 5 or 6 days away. But yes, we're watching it. Yes, there's potential for more snow for Saturday. So this is the current thinking based on the models today. Shifting is likely going to occur. As far as time frames go, I can get you close with the European going out of Detroit there. So moving on to this system into Saturday, the European model says snow moves in. This is Saturday, very actually late Friday, early Saturday. This model here is saying this is 1 a.m. in the morning Saturday, so very late Friday night / very early Saturday morning. So snow will begin probably before you fly out there. So it may be an issue there in Detroit. So keep that in mind. And again, I don't want to get specific with that. That could change. It probably will change a little bit. But generally speaking, system currently is expected to move in later Friday into early Saturday.
I did notice with that system for Saturday, it is a lot slower. So you could see prolonged periods of snow. So again, snow totals could be increased for Saturday, but we won't go into specific details for totals yet. That's just my meteorological, I don't know, thought in me seeing, 24 hours perhaps snowfall there. It could definitely up the totals, but again, it depends on, a bunch of different things in the atmosphere, like the dendritic growth zone, for example, how much warm air can be affected, and all that fun stuff that we take into account when we're going over meteorology. So hopefully that helped your planning for Saturday.
What time Wednesday will driving get dicey around Western Detroit Metro? Have plans in the evening, considering canceling. So, Anne, good question there. You should be okay for your evening plans. I don't expect snow to begin until 10 p.m. at the earliest. So if you have like 7 or 8 o'clock plans, you should be, generally speaking, okay. And then by the time it starts to snow, it takes about an hour or two to accumulate, get slick. So you should be okay. We'll adjust this tomorrow if need be.
Model runs come out every 6 hours usually, so they're based off of Zulu time, which is basically your Greenwich Mean Time, which is over there in England. So we're about in the winter time with Eastern Standard Time, 5 hours behind that. So right now, current time is about 1Z, if I think about that correctly there. But 0Z is usually 7 p.m. every day. 6Z is like 1 in the morning, and then again 12Z, 18Z is going to be your 7-1, 7-1 back and forth. So it's always fun. And then when we get into the summertime with daylight savings time, it changes to every 8 and 2, I believe it is, because it's a 4-hour difference.
And our software, our model software is pretty cool here. It actually tells us when these models update as well. So we can see the next European model comes out at 12:13 in the morning. The next GFS American model comes out at 10:30 tonight. The Canadian model comes out at 10:45. So that's our next time frame to watch here. By about 11 to midnight, it's going to be the next next fresh batch of data. So, but yeah, Zulu time is definitely not it's not fun to learn. Jas with a $5, gifted 5 memberships here. Thank you, Jas, for your generosity.
Thank you, Jas.
And also welcome to the channel for those who just got gifted.
Mm-hmm.
Any possibilities for power outages? So, Katie, not really seeing that. With typical winter storm here, you got to kind of think outside the box when it comes to power outages. We're not really expecting too high winds. We're not expecting heavy snow. We're not really expecting an ice storm at all. So power outages are likely going to have to occur when like vehicles slide off the roads, hit a power pole, stuff like that. That could happen in wintertime. So they should be pretty isolated in nature. I wouldn't expect outages to be widespread at all.
Another comment here about school cancellations. I would be, if anything, for Thursday right now. with all the snow falling Wednesday night, overnight into the Thursday morning.
Joel, do you want to give some memberships here ourselves or no?
Have we not done it yet this month?
Well, we got, I believe, all 10 to give.
Shoot. All right. Well, we do have a big crowd in here tonight. So if you guys have a YouTube account, go ahead and subscribe over on YouTube. It's MI Storm Chasers. If you just type in Michigan Storm Chasers, you should be able to find it. Make sure you turn on allow gifted memberships. And yeah, if you're good with it, Ryan, we'll send some out here in a couple minutes.
8:30. We'll send 5 out at 8:30.
8:30. There you go. And yes, Summer, we are getting close to me dancing again. We're almost to 30,000 here on YouTube, which is a milestone. For those who are not in the loop, we, I guess not we, but I have to dance every time we hit a 5,000 milestone. So that next one is 30K, and we're about 600 away right now. But again, if you aren't subscribed on YouTube, again, if you have an account, you can subscribe for free. It's totally free to do. And we are going to send some memberships to you guys here in about 2 minutes here, courtesy of us. So
how much are we looking at for cold water? I'll go ahead and pop out the forecast for you guys. So cold water is firmly within a 4 to 7 inch zone of snow. We could see localized higher amounts, certainly possible, but you are pretty close as well to the ice totals. So we're going to keep a close eye on you. Any further southeast shifts would bring you out of that, but any further northwest shifts could bring you back into it. So overall speaking, 4 to 7 inches of snow is your expectation, with a glaze of ice a possibility as well. All right, got one more minute here to subscribe, and we're going to gift those memberships out here in a second. We'll do 5 tonight. We'll do 5 again tomorrow evening as well. As we do plan. Actually, no, we'll do it. We'll do Wednesday. We'll do another briefing on Wednesday before the snow begins. We'll do it then. Do 5 more then at least. Thank you, It's Common, for becoming a member here at MSC. Appreciate your support. Welcome to the team.
Thank you, It's Common.
I know the website you use for tracking weather is paid, but do you know of a good free resource to look out for weather models? So, Nicholas, I would first advise, if you don't know how to forecast weather or just general idea of how to interpret models, I wouldn't really advise looking at model data. But yes, there are some free sites out there. Pivotal Weather is a good one. There's also the College of DuPage website. That's good as well. But again, I would highly, highly encourage you guys, if you don't know how to interpret the data, you have to know how to do that before you hop on and say, oh, look, 15 inches of snow. No, you gotta learn how to interpret it, what it's telling you, read soundings, stuff like that. So there are some good websites out there, but would highly advise to educate yourself before you do it. All right, it is 8:30. We are going to gift 5 memberships now in 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. And they're being gifted as we speak. There it is. Got Crypto, we got Tim Kazoo, Hannah, Kimberly, and Tulip. Welcome to the team, guys. Congratulations on your memberships that are gifted. So what memberships give you here at YouTube, but also similar to our Patreon, Facebook, and Discord memberships, we do exclusive daily forecasts. We also put out our forecasts first for our members, so they go up to our members before they go out to the public. We also do localized, zoomed in snow maps as well for you guys that are exclusive to you. Those are not public. And we also give you guys some exclusive content and streams here on YouTube exclusively. So you do have some perks there, as well as sticker usage here on YouTube. You get some customized stickers. So there's some perks to becoming a member, and those will expire at the end of 30 days. If you want to renew it, it's on you to hop into your YouTube account and renew it. And if you don't want to renew it, just let it expire, and that's all you guys got to do.
Pretty pain-free.
Yep. Evan with 5 gifted memberships. Thank you, Evan, for your generosity. And welcome to the team for those of you who just got gifted.
Thank you again, Evan. A lot of you guys like paying it forward here at MSC on YouTube, so we appreciate you guys very much.
Absolutely.
I saw a comment when we were going through those gifted memberships there about the orange on the map. It's very minuscule, but that orange that you see there is what's called a sleet. So it's basically snow that falls and melts just a little bit, but then turns back into snow again. So it kind of gets like pellety, I guess you could say, as it falls to the surface. And you see that all the time.
Dippin' Dots.
Yeah, Dippin' Dots, essentially. Like sprinkles versus glaze. You got to think. I know the donut gonna make some people hungry, but you have the donut sort of thing where they do a glazed donut versus a sprinkled donut. Glazed donut is gonna be a freezing rain, and your sprinkled donut is gonna be that sleet.
Do you have to become a paid member or just subscribe to get one? So subscribing on YouTube is free. That's all you have to do to get one, a membership gift. Speaking of gift memberships, Jas with 50 of those. Jas, thank you for your generosity and welcome to the 50 members who just got joined up to the MSC team here on YouTube. Thank you, Jas, for your support.
Awesome as always, Jas. Thank you. Yeah, we made some people hungry.
Luckily, I ate before I hopped on here. So Jas, once again, with 50 memberships gifted. Jas is going off tonight with these memberships gifted. So appreciate you, Jas, again, as always. And for the 50 of you who just got gifted memberships, welcome to the team once again. Let's go ahead and give out R5. Might as well. We're doing a gifted party here. Let's go ahead and just do us as well. So
we got to wait a couple
I'll give you guys like 3 minutes to come in and get gifted memberships. And we'll do ours at like 8:38 or something like that. We'll gift our last 5 for the month. We might as well at this point. We'll also wrap up the stream here pretty soon. We've been on here about an hour or so. So you guys got questions, you guys still watching about the system midweek, feel free to pop in chat here. Open town hall Q&A. We can't get every question because of the chat going by so fast. We'll try and catch most of them.
Yeah, we are live on both YouTube and Facebook, as you guys know. And we're also on X right now tonight for this briefing. So we have comments from all 3 platforms essentially scrolling through our screen at the exact same time. So yeah, feel free to follow us on all those platforms, of course, as well. So that way, during severe weather season, especially, it's important to make sure that you're able to watch our live streams in more than one way, I guess you could say, because sometimes technology is not fun, and we experience that every once in a while. So you want to make sure that you are following just in case on Facebook and YouTube. Yeah, and to allow gifted memberships, I believe it's in the Join tab. And then there's like 3 dots in like the top right or something. And then there's a toggle, essentially. Now I'll throw up the Snowfall map again. There's a couple more people rolling in here late.
There you go. There's your Snowfall map for the
first call.
First call, yeah, for Wednesday evening into Thursday morning. Now, first call, for those of you who don't know what that means, that's basically our first forecast. So it's our first thoughts, so to speak. We'll do a second call or our second thoughts tomorrow, and then final thoughts will come out on Wednesday, probably early morning, if any updates need to be updated.
Thank you, mods, for those instructions. Appreciate you guys.
So southeast Wayne County is out of the main path of the weird weather. So Karen, that is going to be false. Basically, the entire state is in snow and or ice. Most of you guys, let me rephrase that. Most of you guys in the state are in snow. Over in Wayne County, you guys are also currently thinking in an ice zone as well. So a mix of both sleet, freezing rain, and some snow on top of that is possible for Wayne County. It's just not going to be as much snow, currently thinking at least, than places further west or north of you. For example, if you're in Wayne County, go up toward Flint or Lansing. Flint and Lansing is in 4 to 7, whereas Wayne County is in a 2 to 5 zone. Is Ann Arbor 4-7 or 2-5? So Ann Arbor, you ran the line there, 4-7. Now, if you're very close to these lines, keep in mind, minor shifting is still going to occur. So stay tuned to future forecasts. We'll have updates on any shifts that do occur. The latest model that came in around 6 o'clock shifted things a little bit further southeast. So it could be shifting you guys into a 4-7 zone. But if that corrects itself and goes back northwest, we could see a 2-5 zone for Ann Arbor. So confusing, I know, but these systems will shift back and forth as we move throughout the next couple of model runs. Just kind of stay tuned to our forecast. We'll keep you guys updated on any shifts that do occur.
If you wanted to screenshot that graphic, we actually have it pinned right now on our Facebook page at the very top. So as long as you search up Michigan Storm Chasers on Facebook, again, with the verified badge, make sure it's us, and then just click on the top post. It should be right there. If you guys want to screenshot it, you have the ice map, the snow map, and the timing map all there in one post for you guys to make it easy. Ice for the Lansing area. Right now, we don't have it listed in the graphic, but with any northern shifts, then Lansing would definitely be in the glaze. But as Ryan mentioned here earlier in the stream, the Euro kind of pushed it back south, so a lot more colder air moving in with this system. But again, changes happen every 6 hours with their models, as we see. So they could easily wobble back north come, I think, 1 or 2 a.m. Well, Euro's always the latest, so probably by like 4 a.m. Here this upcoming morning. It might, never know, shift. So we'll have to watch out for that. But right now, Lansing is not currently in any sort of ice risk. It'd just be mainly snow, and the heaviest at that.
Yeah, speaking of shifting here, I'll go ahead and just kind of show you guys a model here. This is a zoomed in look at Southeast Michigan. And I've been showing you guys this all throughout the hour and 10 minutes we've been live here. I'll just go ahead and mention, keep an eye on this bottom line here across Lake Erie, Ontario, into Monroe County through Toledo, the cutoff, essentially what I'm looking to. So this is the latest model. If I go back to the morning model, watch how far that shifts north and west. About a county, maybe a county and a half north and west. So the latest model did shift things a little bit to the southeast here. It's a minor shift, but it's actually major in terms of geography because it's a full county shift, essentially. Mm-hmm. So if we see another one of those full county shifts southeast, that moves Lenawee, that moves all of Washtenaw, most of Wayne, and parts of Monroe County into a 4-7 zone. So it could be significant if we keep seeing a southeast shift occur. We'll keep an eye on it. We'll update as needed. But just keep that in mind. We're going to see shifting comparing these two models here. Going back even further, you're going to see these shiftings. They've been occurring every model run. So generally speaking, watch for updated forecasts. Evan, with another month here at MSC YouTube as a member, just wanted to say thank you guys for everything. Hey, it's our pleasure. We love doing this. We love hopping on, interacting with you guys, getting to answer your guys' questions, and also do our passion here, and educate and inform you guys. So best of both worlds. You guys love us. We guys love you.
Absolutely. We're as great as you guys make us to be. So thank you guys.
Absolutely. We got Toby with a new member here. Thank you, Toby, for becoming a member here at MSC YouTube. Appreciate your support of the channel. Welcome to the team.
Thank you, Toby.
I saw a question earlier about Blue Sky. A lot of you guys are preferring to move off of Twitter or off of Instagram or Facebook to Blue Sky. We are on Blue Sky currently. However, the platform itself is very limiting what we can post there. So not much of our content goes out to Blue Sky right now. We're hoping that they choose to expand, especially the character limit, because right now we're doing forecasts like 5,000 to 10,000 letters in a forecast. Mm-hmm. Blue Sky lets us do 300. So when you try and fit 10,000 letters into a 300 limit, it's just not going to work. All right. Any other questions, guys? Get to memberships. We got to do 5 more here. We're past 3 minutes. Go ahead and get those out right now. Our final 5 for the month. So this isn't going to happen again from us until March, unfortunately. But here's the last 5 going out right now to YouTube subscribers. Let's go ahead and put it out. There it goes. We have the Queen, Mr. Height, Erica, Mike, and Mom. Welcome to the team, guys.
Congratulations, y'all. There's 5 gifted memberships on us, total of 10 tonight, plus all those other gifted memberships out there. Thank you guys so much for being generous and paying it forward. Again, those memberships expire after 30 days. If you want to re-up them, that is on you guys to do. And there will definitely be more gifted memberships in the future, so make sure to stick around here on YouTube. Yes, Facebook does not allow us to gift.
Unfortunately.
Correct.
All righty. Any other questions here before we hop out of here? If you're tuning in just now and you want to see forecast info, I would highly suggest going back to the first like 10 or 15 minutes of the video. You can go ahead and scroll back with your finger. Just go ahead and move all the way back to the beginning, both on Facebook and YouTube, and also X as well, and just kind of rewatch the first 15 minutes or so of the stream. We cover everything in pretty much good detail. But overall, we're just kind of answering questions at this point. I will go ahead and say that we do have sponsors that do keep us rolling here at Michigan Storm Chasers. We like to shout those out on stream here before we hop out of here. I'll go ahead and do that now, although we're going to probably pop on another 5 or 10 minutes. But these sponsors really just overall help us out with overall costs, because what we do here is not free. We have a lot of platform costs, model costs, stuff like that to keep things operational. So first shout out today for Storm Guard Roofing and Construction. They are based out of Macomb and Oakland counties. They do roofing and construction needs on your residential homes. Number to call is 248-985-3239. Thank you to Storm Guard. We also have Lifestyle Exteriors based out of Traverse City and Lansing areas. Lifestyle Exteriors does exterior work on your residential homes as well. 989-854-3055 is the number to call there. And we also have Pro Powder out of the South Haven area, 269-637-8722. They do powder coating needs for both commercial and residential uses. And we also have Clear Plow Snow Pushers. Basically, what they do is they provide you guys a tool to attach to your dollies to push snow. So pretty interesting, actually. 248-800-6569. Feel free to check those guys out as well. And thank you to the sponsors for supporting us here at Michigan Storm Chasers YouTube. And if you want to become a sponsor here as well, email is up there. contact@michiganstormchasers.com is how you get a hold of us. You can also send us a message on Facebook. We'll see that as well. Jess, thank you for all your hard work and dedication. Back for month number 4 here at MSC YouTube. Thank you, Jess, for sticking around here. We also have, we clicked at the same time, Jeff with a new membership here at MSC. Thank you, Jeff, for becoming a member. Welcome to the team. Thank you for your support.
Thank you both.
All right, some final questions here. Benton Harbor looking good for snow? Yes, Tyler, good question. That is a safe bet for Benton Harbor. We're going with a 4 to 7 call. Go ahead and pull the graphic if I can find it again. There you go. 4 to 7 is the call for Benton Harbor there in Berrien County. And we could see localized higher amounts as well if you're lucky. We'll have updated forecasts coming tomorrow. Clarkston, Michigan. So Clarkston, you are going to be in a 2 to 5 zone, close to the 4 to 7. So kind of on the line there, but also expect a nice glaze of ice as well with current thinking. Again, this could change. Note the bottom right corner of the graph here. Minor shifts still possible. We're going to watch that very closely. So if you're close to one of these cutoff lines, it could go either way for you in terms of higher or lower amounts. So stay tuned. Aaron with another membership here. Thank you, Aaron, for becoming a member here at MSC YouTube. Thank you for your support and welcome to the team.
Thank you, Aaron.
All righty. Anything else you want to add to this, Joel, before we pop out of here?
Not really.
All right.
We've got everything. We went over everything earlier. Again, if you guys want to watch the archive of this, again, it'll be posted on post on Facebook, but the full, if the post gets lost, you can always watch it as always here. over on YouTube. So feel free to follow us on both of those platforms. If you haven't already, it's free to do as long as you have an account. So go check us out on both.
All right. We're going to wrap things up here. We'll catch you guys sometime tomorrow for another briefing here. I know, Joel, you're busy in the evening, perhaps do an afternoon briefing. And we'll also be on here again Wednesday morning or afternoon for a final update on the system. So we'll announce it on our Facebook page as well as YouTube, and we're going to go live. So stay tuned for those announcements. Before we pop out of here, David has become a member as well. Thank you, David, for your support. Welcome to the team. Everybody who's become a member tonight, we appreciate your support. Like we said a few minutes ago, what we do here is not free. So any support you guys can give us is much appreciated, more than you guys know. So thank you very much for being members and super chats and just overall your general support just by liking and sharing our content as well. So with that being said, we're going to pop out of here.
And also, being nice. You guys are we see all your nice comments that roll through, even though they're flying through on the side of our screen. But we do see all your thanks, and we're here to help you guys out. Again, we are as great as you guys make us to be. So we do appreciate doing this for you guys, and we love what we do. So we're happy to be here and hanging out with you guys for an hour and 17 minutes.
All right. We're going to wrap things up here. So we'll catch you guys tomorrow. Stay tuned to our Facebook page as well as tomorrow's update video on YouTube will go out. We'll keep you guys updated on the system, and also potentially probably put a post out for the weekend system as well to get that addressed. So with that being said, we're going to pop out here. You guys enjoy your evening. Stay safe out there. We'll catch you guys tomorrow.
You guys.